Well, thank you, first of all, for these kind words, and thank you all for giving me such opportunity to present my presentation. And as Dr. Ahmed mentioned, that I'm preparing for my master degree, Caricature and Humor and Satire, let me humorously say I will entitle my presentation to be Challenge the Time for Presenting My Presentation in 10 minutes maximum, and promise me that you will give me a very big clap if I finish it in 10 minutes. Let me start. First of all, I'm going to give you a very brief paragraph about our Calligraphy Center. It's affiliated to the Biblioteca Alexandrina, and its purpose is to study the inscriptions, calligraphies, and writings in the world throughout the ages, from the pre-dynastic period up to the digital age. As I mentioned, that Calligraphy Center is responsible for recording writings, calligraphies, and inscriptions, so these are all derived from only one thing, which is a language. And a language, as we all know, that it is a system of communicating with other people using sounds, symbols, and words in expressing a meaning, idea, or thought. And this language can be used in many forms. Of course, it can be oral, written communications, as well expressions through body language. What we are discussing is written communications in the Calligraphy Center. Of course, we all know that languages are endangered, and that's why what's endangered language? It's the language that is at risk of falling out of use. So how we can rescue the language? This can happen by two basic steps. The first one is the language documentation, and this is our job. What we are doing is to document or record the language itself. The second step is the language revitalization, and this is not our job actually. Language documentation is the process by which the language is documented and recorded in terms of its grammar, its lexicon, and its oral tradition. By means the oral traditions, we are doing the texts and the inscriptions itself of the language. The revitalization of the language is the process by which a language community, through political communities, educational means, attempts to increase the number of active speakers of the endangered language itself. The language documentation. How our center is documented and recording a language. This can be done here in our center through various projects and publications. We had several publications, The Journey of Writing in Egypt, and permit me, I will not talk about it because Dr. Khaled Azza, our director of the center, will speak about this project. The History of Writing, this is another book, and The Lost Languages. My project is the Digital Library of Inscriptions and Calligraphies. What is this project? It is considered a digital recording of all inscriptions existing on ancient buildings and monuments throughout the ages. These inscriptions are digitally displayed for the user, including a brief description and pictures and images as well in front of the inscription. We had chosen in the first phase various kinds of scripts, which are the ancient Egyptian language scripts, the Arabic, the Persian, the Turkish, the Greek, and other scripts such as the Musnad and the Nabatean and the Thamudic, and this is in the first phase, and we hope that we can increase the number of languages. Of course, we had numerous number of languages. As a soft opening, we had started with 1,500 inscription, and this was in August 2009, and less than 1 year later, this year, we had exceeded 5,000 inscriptions in the previous languages that I mentioned before. The site that we are going to see, this is a temporary one. This is not the final stage of the site of our digital library. It will be completely integrated and updated by next August 2011. I will just give an example of the digital library. I have chosen just one language, which is the ancient Egyptian language. As we all know, it is divided into 4 main scripts: the hieroglyphic, the hieratic, the demotic, and the Coptic script. We had, up till now, 1,500 inscriptions in the ancient Egyptian language, and let me show you very quickly our application for entering the database of each inscription. This is the main page. Just by clicking in this arrow, it's in Arabic, I'm sorry, but it means to add. If you want to add, so this is the application where we use to add the information about each inscription. We had a paragraph for the general data, the name of the monument, the website name, the category, as we can see here. It's, for example, the Shashank II, the pictorial of Shashank II. It is jewelry, its material is gold, its storing place in the Egyptian Museum and so on. We had also some information about the monument's discovery, the founder and the dimensions. When we finish this, we just press save and then we go to the publications where we used to enter the references that we depended on for putting or for collecting the information. Then we had the description, few lines describing the piece itself, then the comments if we had any comment, then the images. Here we had an image and a dialog box accompanying the image for adding any comments if you'd like, and finally the transliteration and the translation of the object itself. I'd like to tell you that each language in our website is divided into categories. As I mentioned that we will talk about the ancient Egyptian language, it is divided into 10 categories, and I'm inviting you to see the website with me now. And as I told you, it has been designed from 6 years before, so it will be completely updated next summer. This is our website. If we press View Monuments, this is the first category that we had. We had inscriptions on accessories, we had inscriptions on architecture, different kind of architectures. As you can see, we had also inscriptions on the art and sculpture. This is the third category. Then furniture. We had implements and utensils, different kind of inscriptions here. Religious and cult objects, because we mentioned that the ancient Egyptian language field has Coptic script, so we had many Coptic scripts here in all these objects. Textile, writing equipments, numismatics, and jewelry. If we will choose jewelry, I just want to show you the pictorial of Shashank II that we entered before. We will choose this one. Then we will choose the open pictorial of Shashank II, this one that we had entered previous minutes ago. And here is on the website. Then we had here the image. It had got two inscriptions, one to the right and one to the left. The new website will give us the opportunity to, of course, magnify and see the inscriptions and pull it from all directions. And here the inscription on the right and the left side, and here the transliteration and the translation of the object on both sides. The Arabic language inscriptions, it had got 2,200 inscriptions up till now, and the most important inscriptions that we had entered is 1,000 inscription from Saudi Arabia, Mecca al-Mukarramah. All the locks and the keys of the Kaaba and the curtains of the Kaaba, all the inscriptions are found also here. I'm very sorry, I will not discuss it because we don't have time. As for the Persian language inscriptions, we had 50 inscriptions, and this is the website of the Persian collection. It is most of all folios and manuscripts from Malaysia. We had Turkish language inscriptions as well, 60 inscriptions in the digital library now, and this is one of the Turkish inscriptions that we had. As for the Greek inscriptions, we had reached 450 inscriptions in the Greek language, and most, of course, the digital library project pays special attention in recording the Greek inscriptions found in Alexandria, of course, such as the foundation plaques of the Serapeum Temple and Pompeii's Pillar. And this one is also the Pompeii's Pillar in the digital library, and the inscription in Greek and its translation also as well. The description, the comments, and publishing. The digital library gives us the opportunity to make search for the objects you want to know. Of course, if you just type, for example, the word Rosetta and make search, this is the first way for making search. So here we will find just one monument that we had, which is the demotic text of the Rosetta Stone. This is another kind for search, which is the advanced search. You can search by, for example, the material, if you will choose gold, for example. So here we had 14 objects made out of gold, and if we will choose by a historical period, for example, the 18th dynasty, so here and make search, we had 175 objects that are dating back to the 18th dynasty. I had finished, but I just want to say as a conclusion in the end that it might seem as though the death of one language is not a particularly serious event, but in fact each loss is a terrible tragedy. What I want to say, that when a language is lost, all of us lose the knowledge contained in that language's words and texts, knowledge that can never be recovered if the language hasn't been studied, documented, or recorded, and this is our job. Thanks a lot.